So this was purely on accident. I wasn't planning for this writing lesson. It just happened, and I want to tell you all about it. It was one of my best writing lessons I've ever done. It was a happy accident. I'm going to tell you all about it, so stick around. Hi, I'm Robin Mellum, children's book author with HarperCollins and Disney Hyperion, and I'm also a middle school teacher. I teach writing, and I've taken everything that I've learned from being a published author, what I learned from having editors, and I've put it into this writing program that I've created called the Structured Writing Teacher, and it's a student-led writer's workshop. And the very first lesson that I teach each year is on voice. And if you've been following along, and a lot of you are, which is amazing. Thank you so much, by the way. I'm a little bit behind you this year because my kids didn't come until like toward the end of August, so we're kind of just getting into it. So a lot of you were ahead of me. But I had just started the lesson on voice, which I talk about in my previous videos, that it's the #1 skill to teach right off, right away. And I can already see in my 6th graders this year why this is the best skill to teach right away. They are building stamina, they're building confidence, they're having so much fun. Now, I taught my first lesson on voice, and then something came up and I wasn't going to be at school on this particular Wednesday. And there was going to be a sub, and I was trying to figure out how to go from, oh, I just taught this lesson on voice, to I'm not going to be here for, until 2 days from now. And then they didn't have a sub. And they said, you need to just make a video so that they can do something on their own because we don't have enough subs. So that's where the whole happy accident thing comes in here. They had just done their diary of an object, but it took them quite a while to do their writing of it. They were really into it and they loved it. And it was like my next lesson would have been having them share their stories, and then we go on from there, right? But I had to do this video in between. So I use this program called Classkick, and I'm going to show it to you on my screen. And I decided to have them take what they had written and now try and show me, like, where were your emotional reactions? Where did you have precise description? Show it to me, highlight it for me, I give them all these directions, and I'll show you what it looks like. And then fix some of your punctuation, because they seem to not know how to capitalize anything anymore. I don't know where that's coming from. And then the next day I came back, and when I got back, I had all of these written up responses on Classkick. And I'll tell you what I did with it that next day in class, and how it ended up being like one of the best lessons we've ever had. And I honestly didn't even say a word. I mean, a few little things here and there, but not much at all. My screen just blipped out. Hi. Whatever, we're going to roll with this. So I'm going to go boot my screen back up, and then I'm going to show you what we did in Classkick, and I'll tell you what I did the next day. So this is the Classkick page that I created for the day that I was out and absent, and I had to come up with something for them to do in between till I got back. So I quickly made this assignment, just having them retype their diary of an object, and then a checklist, making sure that they've put in precise language and emotional reactions, and that they've highlighted those. And it turned out really cool. And if you have been following along in my sessions here, where I talk about like how I use diamond mining, I started now using these diamonds in Classkick when we do this digitally. So I find my diamond writer, and it shows up on their screen when they log back in the next day. Now, I wanted to point out this one, Candid Cat down here. This is what I was looking for, was all of these emotional reactions, which were done in one color, and then the precise language done in another color, and then check, check, check. Love that. Now, when I got back, after they did all this, I told them who my diamond was, and then I had them do like exactly the way we usually do, which is where they get to share out in their trios and then share, some diamond writing that they found. Then we came together as a class and called on some volunteers, and they shared their writing. Other kids noticed, like, did you hear any emotional reactions? Do you remember what phrase there? So we're really kind of pulling it out. So all I did was just tell them to like redo their writing, and then we shared it. And then they really, really focused in on those two parts of learning voice. And then what I did was, I don't know, all out of the blue, I was just like, let's listen to the first chapter of a book called Ghost by Jason Reynolds. And he reads it. You can go look it up on YouTube. It's amazing. And I just said, I want you to listen to it. And I just want to see what you notice. That's all I said. We listened to it. We were done with the video and they freaked out. They want to read the book. And I just said, what'd you notice? And they said, emotional reactions. Which ones? What'd you notice? Oh, the part where he got mad at the guy at the store, and he, and then what precise things. He didn't just say that he walked by a building. He went into this precise description of this gym and these people on these stairs, looking out the window. It was very precise. You could totally envision it all. And I just said, did you hear voice in Jason Reynolds' writing? And they were like, yes. And I said, that is what I want from you this year. I want you to find your voice, your style. And if you stick with me, you do these skills that I'm teaching you, these 2 rules about precise language and emotional reactions, you will get there. And I started thinking at the end, like, they were so happy, and I felt wonderful. And I just wanted to get on here and talk to you guys about, thinking about Jason Reynolds' book and the type of writing that we are teaching in our classrooms. Like, ask ourselves, is the instruction that I'm giving, is that going to eventually produce the next Jason Reynolds? Because that's what we are doing essentially. It's one thing to be like, oh, well, Jason Reynolds is Jason Reynolds. But somewhere out there, we have kids who are going to be amazing writers. And is what we're doing, are we producing just little products, or are we producing writers? That's the goal. Don't make me tear up. Okay, thanks for sticking with me. I'm glad you're here. Put any comments and questions below. Let me know if you're following along with the writing program. It's been so amazing to hear back from you all who are doing all the skills and the lessons. It's just going wonderfully, and I have a lot more to share with you in the next video. All right, thanks everyone. See you then.